On this episode of Road Trip Masters, we roll into an area that is located in the heart of the coal region in Pennsylvania.
After our work ethic, definitely be fired after an hour.
Then check out a legendary kibasi shop that has been around for over a century.
So if you please could speak what the family recipe is so we can write it down.
We'll hammer down some dogs and burgers.
That's fantastic.
Go ATV. And check out a factory that started with 5 women sitting around the kitchen table. So sit back, relax, and let us do the driving right here on Road Trip Masters. I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer.
We're teachers that have a passion for travel.
Cruising the highways and byways in our 1968 drop-top caddy.
We discover the places and people that make this nation great. We are Road Trip Masters. This week we decided to stay closer to home and explore the Schuylkill and Northumberland counties of Pennsylvania. This region became popular after the Civil War with the discovery of anthracite coal. Today, this region is filled with proud individuals who carry on a deep-rooted tradition of yesteryear. And since Brian and I are from Slovakian descent, we thought it was time to celebrate our ethnic heritage and pay this area a visit. For this trip, we brought along a self-proclaimed expert of this region, Dr. Rod Troutman, who was born and raised in these parts. Dr. Troutman was our former principal and now our assistant superintendent, so it was only befitting to do a little role reversal and have Dr. Rod drive us around. Our first stop, Cova Lennox, located in Shenandoah, PA, or as the locals call it, Shendo. Our first stop was with Luke, who ran us through the process of creating kibasi sticks. All right, Brian, here we are. We got Luke.
Luke, I've witnessed the experts make their kibasi, and the one thing I noticed that you don't have that they have is Polish beers all over the place. But instead, I see this contraption.
This is what we have instead. This is our kibasi stuffer.
Now, Luke, how many pounds of meat can get up into there?
About 300 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What are we making today? Sticks?
Kibasi sticks.
How many sticks are you going to get out of one tub up there?
About 100 pounds. We'll do a whole rack. A whole rack will be about 300 pounds.
How many sticks are you going to get off of that one casing?
About 60.
All right.
Somewhere around there.
There it is, Brian. You know what I say. These things are going in the smoker. We should get to that area and check that out.
Let's head out.
All right. After getting a rundown from Luke on the making of the kibasi stick, it was off to Jess to show us how to smoke these meats. All right, Jess, here we are, the smoke station, correct?
Right.
And what do we got hanging here?
This is our Kirkuska, so it's similar to like a Canadian bacon, much better, of course.
Now, there's a massive amount right here.
Yeah.
How long will this last in the storefront?
Yeah, everything is on about a weekly rotation, depending on the time of the year,
Family recipe here.
for sure.
How far does the recipe go back?
1911 are our earliest dates.
Now, we have this massive smoker right behind Rod here. So tell us what we're going to see here in a little bit.
This is going to be kielbasi coming out, so basically our staple, your original product. That'll be smoked kielbasi. It's been in there, it's reached an internal temperature that when it comes out, it's ready to go. You're ready to eat it.
So kibasi's coming out
Kirkuska's going in.
and Kirkuska is going in.
Yep.
I brought our kibasi expert who's taking notes. If you please could speak what the family recipe is so we can write it down.
It's all up here, not written down.
From the creation of these fine meats to the hours of smoking them, it was finally time to hit the storefront and pick out some final products. Well, Brian, we're going to have that kibasi tasting in a little bit outside. But Jess, what should we order here? What's a classic? What's a staple?
I think you should always start with the staple, which would be our fresh or our smoked kielbasi.
Oh, wow. Check that baby out. Now, that's what we just saw back there hanging on the racks.
Fully cooked, ready to go, just like that.
That's the one that just came out of the smoker, too.
Exactly.
Brian, what do you think?
Well, my kids love the traditional kibasi sticks.
All right, let's get some of those sticks. Right?
Absolutely.
That thing. We got the sticks. We saw them being made. We saw these guys come out of the smoker. What else should we have?
I like the kielbasi loaf. It's a kielbasi that's made into a meatloaf. It makes a really great sandwich.
All right,
Yeah.
let's check out one of those, Brian. What do you think?
Grab you some of those.
Grab the dip,
Yep.
head outside, let it up to the experts.
Absolutely.
So Brian and I assembled the tasting tent just outside of Cova Lennox. And of course, we invited Dr. Rod and our esteemed panel of experts to join us for this kibasi feast.
So, Jess, what are we going to start with first? We got a plethora of, I'm going to say, a kibasi arsenal.
This is your most traditional, so everything started with this, the smoked kielbasi.
So right here.
Yep.
All right. You know, Brian, you taste the smoke right there. We saw it getting smoked. We saw it from start to finish almost. Phenomenal. Jess, what's next?
I would go with the loaf.
I'm going right in for the big slice, Brian.
All right.
Rod, I see you took the little wimpy piece. Guys, oh no, get the big slice. How would you say, Joe, this kibasi is excellent in Polish?
Wspaniała.
Wspaniała?
Wspaniała.
All right, there we go. It's all right here, all homemade, right from 4 generations deep.
Quality of the product speaks to your family as well and what you guys put into it.
And it's summed up right here.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Na zdrowie.
Jeszcze raz, nie żyje nam, nie żyje nam.
Shenandoah is known for a lot of things, but food certainly seems to have the largest beat in the heart of these hills. One location specifically has been a staple to this community since 1952. A place where pierogies dominate over anything else. A little spot called Mrs. T's. To begin this tour, we suited up for sanitary reasons and met up with Jackie, who would give us the rundown on the pierogi making process.
So we're going to be going in through our storage freezer to get to the other side of the processing area, and our storage freezer today is at -7 degrees. We store all of the product that we make coming off of the line here for a period of 1 to 2 days. So be careful as you walk through here because it's a little bit slippery.
My God. It's freezing. That's cold. Okay.
Where we are right now is similar to perhaps what you might think is your pantry at home. Materials are moved in and moved out, and they're brought to this area and the area that we just passed through.
So right here is where all the ingredients are housed.
That's correct.
The next chamber throughout Mrs. T's was the mixing room, a machine pumping heaven where potato filling and dough were mixed for the pierogi products.
To equate this, if you were to have Thanksgiving dinner and you bought a 10-pound bag of potatoes to make your mashed potatoes with, one of these batches would feed 75 families, one batch. Each batch is about 750 pounds.
After Jackie gave us the rundown on the mixing procedure, we passed through some top secret locations, places too valuable for the human eye, sending us right through to the inspection station.
Where we're heading now is the actual inspection area. It's post-blanching, a way of
Like
parboiling of sorts. And then it'll go through a cold water tub and a last inspection. It's a cursory inspection of the product that's manually done by some inspectors. So we're going to actually see what 1,008 pierogies per minute looks like. In a half an hour, you are going to probably be tasting some of the best pierogies you've ever had.
Hold you to it.
With a delicious platter of pierogies waiting, Brian, Jackie, and I raced through the final stages inside Mrs. T's factory, cruising through truly impressive boxing and packaging procedures, all the way down to laying these delicious treats on a pallet, ensuring they're ready for storage and shipping. But before we could hit the kitchen, we had to meet up with Vanessa, who would give us the lowdown on the history of a classic tradition.
So Mrs. T's began in 1952. Our founder, Ted Twardzik Sr., was working at Arthur Anderson up in New York City as an accountant. And he would come home and he would see the lines around the block at the church bazaars looking for pierogies. And he thought, why don't I make pierogies and sell them to the masses? But he started in his mother's kitchen. He hired 5 women, roll out the dough, stuff the pierogies, and before long his mom wanted his kitchen back. So they moved to his dad's bar and restaurant at this very location where we're at today.
We heard the stories. We've seen the factory. Now it was time to finally taste these legendary treats of lore. That's when we met up with Jenna in the kitchen and helped her prepare a long-awaited feast.
Jenna, what are we going to be doing today?
So we actually have a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to have some minis in the air fryer for you with dipping sauces. We've got a sheet pan recipe that I'm actually going to ask you to help prep. And then we're going to do our classic butter and onions with a little twist.
All right.
Hope you're
Lead the way,
hungry.
I guess.
All right.
Let me try this thing.
Hold on, let me give
This
me
is
this.
disturbing.
I feel like she did this to get me out of her hair that she's not even using this.
So we decided not to get in Jenna's way. Mrs. T's Kitchen is always working on creative ways to prepare the almighty pierogi. This kitchen knows how to work its magic. Jenna, these are absolutely incredible. You know what? With these recipes that you came up with, you give a new flavor profile to what I was used to eating in the past. 1-2 knockout punch.
I would agree.
Hey, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
After stuffing our faces with pounds of kibasi and pierogies, it was off to Cole Township, where Rod, Brian, and I would get off-road and into the woods. Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area was the perfect place for this fix. Dave, our tour guide, would set us off to check out some truly breathtaking spots. But we were certain it was gonna be a bumpy ride. After getting our brains scrambled from a first wild ride, Dave decided to throw this bad boy in park and pave a way through the woods to our first spot.
We're stopping to see the whaleback. The whaleback was unearthed back in the 1940s during the coal mining area out here. Geological students from all over the world come here to study this because it's only things you can read about in a textbook. But it was down by South Africa. When the continents split, it worked its way up here, and what you see was formed because of the rock being soft.
So in essence, it swam here from South Africa.
In a sense, through rock. Through rock.
And just like that, we were off to our next destination. With the engine purring and our seatbelt strapped on, Dave led the way to the Overlook, the valley spreading as far as the eye could see. Brian, here we are. Scenic Overlook. And Dave, right back there you see the rock formations. Tell us about them.
What you're looking at here is our scenic overlook. What you get is a 15-mile view down into Schuylkill County.
Now, Dave, you see that massive collision geologically where the rock folds together, compresses, and then pops back out to form the whaleback, right?
That is correct. That's what you're looking at from this direction. A little bit better vantage point.
Very popular among the lovers. Let's get out of here.
Not necessarily here.
It was off to our last stop, the Lower Pines. With paths so tight, you needed to keep your head, arms, and legs in, or you would lose them.
We are now in the Lower Pines. We just took you guys through the area, what we call the Upper Pines. There's two sections of pine trees here. Now, we don't know exactly what the truth was of why they were planted. So from what we've been told was it was either a project through the Boy Scouts on mine reclamation, or they were planted as mine timbers.
Well, we tried to convince Rod here to take a look outside the car to see where we were going. He didn't bite.
He didn't bite?
No.
I guess it's back to base camp, Brian. We're dirty, we're dusty, but you know what? It feels good.
Absolutely.
Brian, we got muddy, hammered, covered with dust, dirt, everything that you could throw at us, but we did it. So what I say is, since we saw what mining looked like above ground, now it's time to go
below ground.
That's right.
Great.
With a bit of daylight left, we decided to head out to one more spot and learn more about this region's rich coal mining history. Lucky for us, our driver knows the quickest way to our next destination, the Pioneer Tunnel Coal Mine, where we let Dr. Rod kick this adventure off by ringing the bell.
All aboard?
All right, let's go, Brian.
I'm surprised we're listening to him.
Yeah, just move now.
The Pioneer Tunnel is what they call a horizontal drift mine
Man, it gets cold quick.
that runs 1,800 feet straight into the side of the Mahanoy Mountain. As our voyage continued, I could tell Brian's claustrophobia was starting to kick in, but that didn't deter us from making our first stop.
All right, now right here, this is the Mammoth Vein of coal, and it does travel east to west for 40 miles in each direction from this location, so it does run a total of 80 miles altogether. With all of that being said, there's no other place in the United States that has as much anthracite coal in one area as where you are sitting right now.
Now, Rick, if there's so much of it right here, why is it still here?
There's not enough demand for it today. It's competing with other things such as soft coal, oil, and even natural gas.
As we drove deeper into the mine, I noticed something that may set Brian's nerves at ease.
Well, Rick, I saw these massive blocks up here with the bolts. What do we got?
Okay, they're known as roof bolts, and the reason why they're in here is because of this right here. I'm shining my light. See this crack?
Yes.
You can see where this flaking started. We have a petrified tree here, and I believe when they took this petrified tree out, it exposed this layer.
What do you mean, petrified tree? From how long
Petrified
ago?
tree. Well, this is around, the coal in this area is around 299 million years old, so that's how old that tree is.
That tree right there is
Yes.
299 million
Yes.
years old? Rick, my God, 300 million years of Earth's history preserved right here.
Yep.
What a treasure.
As our adventure continued, I could sense that Rick was going to need a little assistance from us.
So I came down here, I drilled some holes, and I set some charges, but I'm going to need some help. Once I set the charges off.
Brian?
Okay. All right, here's what you have to do. Lift this up. Lift it all the way up and hold it up.
Fire in the hole!
God's sake.
Did you notice how many shots there were?
2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
6. There were 6. You also wanted to keep a good ear out to hear how many shots there were, because if you did put 6 back there and you only heard 4 or 5, somebody's going to go back and check the fuses.
I heard 5.
Yeah, go in there and check.
Let me see. Where are we at? And I'll go in there and check it out. Oh my God, there's some creepy things back here.
After checking the charges and making sure everything was clear, we came upon our next stop, the wishing well, where I just had to ask Brian.
Well, what would be your wish?
Wish to get back on topside.
After sealing the deal and making his wish, we had just one more place to visit before we got Brian topside, where Rick explained what a typical workday was like in the mines.
And if you look here, see the man sitting here. Looks like he is on a break, but he is not. He does have a job. If you notice, he has his feet up on the cart. The reason why he has his feet up on the cart is because he is measuring the amount of coal. The reason why he has to use his feet is when you are mining down here, it is completely black down here. It's completely dark down here. Do you want to see how dark it gets?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah, sure.
I don't have a choice in this. I already know that.
Well, let's see how dark it gets.
All right,
Here we go. Count it down. So this is what they would be used to right here?
Yep, this is what they would be working in.
Unbelievable. All right, Rick, I guess lead us out of the tunnel. Learned a ton about coal. No pun intended. Ton about coal.
Rick was a wealth of knowledge, but it was time to evac Brian out of the mountain and get him to where he can breathe again. After sweeping through the dark depths of the Pioneer Tunnel Mine, Brian and I were once again on the hunt for food, and we found it in Shamokin at Coney Island Lunch, where we were going to get educated on the infamous one up and one down.
Hey, what can I get you, ma'am?
Very funny, buddy. So what are we doing? Sharon, you trust this guy making up some
Well,
ups and
I don't know.
downs?
Usually nobody touches my grill. Guess maybe we can make one exception today.
Thank you,
How's that?
So what do we do? If I want to order a down, that's my burger with everything, right?
Right.
With Sharon's permission, Brian took command of the grill to master the iconic one up and one down.
That's one down.
That's one down. Now you want to try one up?
Yes, I do.
Hot dogs are done closer to the back.
The ones in the back are the done ones?
Yep.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
you have to get it off.
All right.
He's doing okay.
I think the swipe I
3
have.
scoops. Well, you have to go down the line.
Oh,
You have to make it pretty.
like this?
No. No.
How about like that?
Nope. Brian, look it.
Yeah.
Technique.
Oh, you look like you've worked here
And-
before.
And she has. Sharon's been at Coney Island for 47 years of the 102 it's been open, serving hundreds of burgers and dogs daily. So it only felt appropriate to sit down and taste the best of the best. And the owner, Billy, would serve up the hot dish.
Hey, where's Sharon, Bill? How come she didn't serve him?
She's busy.
She was bossing you around, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Rod, you're the expert here.
Well, again, I think that most importantly, you always eat down first.
So that's a hamburger.
That's right.
All right.
All right. That's fantastic. Now, Rod, the dog? Or do I got to finish the burger first?
We'll allow it, since it's your show, we'll let you work on the dog as well.
All right.
Brian, to the dog.
All right. And that nice little soft, fluffy texture. I love it.
Oh, they've been in business 102 years. They're doing something right.
All right, boys. I would say this place is a plus. Next time you're in Shamokin, PA, Coney Island lunch. Make it a stop.
Well, another road trip is in the books. The coal regions of Pennsylvania certainly knows how to show its visitors a good time. From mouth-watering food to hilltop adventures, Brian and I will definitely be back. Until next time, I'm Nick Kessler.
And I'm Brian Fulmer. Stay curious, my friends.
Safe travels.